Okay, right. So this is Conor Madden, task 4 of psychology. He's going to attempt to identify, explain and analyse 4 factors which influence group dynamics and performance in team sports. He's discussing stages of group development, Ringleman effect, social loafing and cohesion. Okay, so press conference has been called. The new manager of Sunderland. The team are in disarray after Paolo Di Canio left. Andy Goodyear, Sky Sports News then. So, was the poor performances, was it to do with the stages of group development in the team?
Well, yeah, it were a bit because the team had to storm and they didn't know where, like, a lot of them didn't know the positions, like, were for certain. So they were all fighting for positions, and then that caused a little bit of conflict because the old manager wouldn't make it clear, and the players were arguing about I'm playing now, no you're not, I'm playing now, I'm better, and that caused a lot of arguments in the team. So we had to really start again. We had to form them again. So we had to sit them all down and say, look, this is our team. We know everyone knows what's happened. So then we did a bit of storming, a few training sessions, got everyone going, and then fighting for positions. So I told them the positions and I let them know, look, you're going to play there, you might be on bench, but keep working, you can get in. Then Norman, we started joining together and they started playing really well against, we had an FA Cup game against a little team, but we played really, really well, and then now they're performing quite well.
Yeah, so you said there you've briefly talked about each of those stages then, so can you tell me a little bit more about the performing stage then? So you said that they've been norming, they got used to the roles. What about the performing stage?
Well, up first when I came in, the performances have been dreadful, and we had to tell them that. I mean, they're not playing to the potential yet. We're still fighting for survival, but performing, like, we're getting a bit of chemistry between them. They're all starting to know where everyone goes, the runs and stuff. We still need to gel a bit more. I think after this season, once we start getting pre-season, I think we'll start performing a lot better.
Yeah. Okay, so next one we'll talk about is there's been a lot of talk from the Sun newspaper over here about the Ringleman effect. All right, can you talk about the Ringleman effect, and is that affecting Sunderland?
Well, that affected a certain player in the team. Obviously, this is when a player is participating less if the team are playing well. So this affected Adam Johnson when we played Manchester City. He sort of shied away a bit because it's his old club, and because it was a team effort, he sort of gave a bit of effort, but he was sort of relying on the rest of the team. And this affected his game because he's got great potential, but if he's going to bottle it against teams like that, then it's going to show on the team. Because he's a major part of the team against every other club, but when it came against that, he just sort of shied away a bit and gave less percentage because obviously he let his team do it.
Yeah, so that's a great example. Can you define what the Ringleman effect is then? What's the definition?
The Ringleman effect is if it were 1-on-1, you'd have to give 100%, but if you had 2 players, you'd give about 90%, 85%. Then the more players you got, the less percentage you'd get. Like you could rely on the rest of the team.
Yeah, so expand on that. Yeah, so why does it happen then?
Because if you've got a star in the team and you don't feel like you can play well enough, you just sort of rely on them. You can just say, look, give him the ball, he's going to play well.
So who's Adam Johnson relying on then? Who's he?
He were relying on Sessegnon and Fletcher when he came in from Wolves. He sort of just gave him the ball and said, look, you go score.
Yeah.
I'll just...
Alright, so what are you going to do over the next few weeks to combat this Ringleman effect?
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to build his confidence up and just say, look, you're a massive part of the team, and tell him that he's a massive part of the team because that's why we brought him in. And just tell him, look, you can't bottle it against teams like that. That's when you need to be playing your best against your old clubs, showing them why we got you. But yeah, I'll just be working with him in training, working with the team, and getting him going with the rest of them.
Okay, right. So that links quite well onto the social loafing then. So You said Adam Johnson was doing a bit of social loafing, and can you expand on that point then? Social loafing.
Well, yeah, sort of. He was doing leading up to the game. It was sort of really. Usually he's a chirpy lad, but he was sort of shying away, and he was excluding himself from the group a little bit, knowing that he was playing Manchester City on weekend. And he was scared of the fans. I think he was scared of the fans' reaction because obviously that can affect you. That's what a lot of players think about. What the fans going to say when I get the ball. What the fans going to do when I get the ball. So yeah, and it were a weather factor as well. I think it were raining, and he just crumbled and it just looked like he didn't want it. Just excluded himself from the group really, and that really affected the team.
All right, good. So again, like same sort of question then. So how are you going to combat this social loafing then?
Well, I think I need to get more involved with the group, especially up to games like that, big games. Just sitting down and just showing what we're doing and why, and just say, look, don't worry about the fans, don't worry about what they're going to do, just worry about performances.
Alright. So I know he's getting a lot of like stick from Sky Sports News about some of his performances, not getting into England squad. So are you going to have to sort of like tell him stop listening to the media?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, I'm going to tell him don't worry about the England squad yet, focus on Sunderland, and when his performances come with Sunderland, it should get him.
Alright, good. There's been a lot of talk about this cohesion element to the team, and that Paolo Di Canio just left them and they weren't talking together and they were very low on cohesion then. So can you tell me a little bit about that and what you've done?
Well, yeah, they were telling me that he told them to do this and other and just sort of left them to it, and everyone just didn't know what they were doing. So task cohesion, you've all got to do it, come together to complete the task that you set. And I've come in, and I've really gelled with them. I've told them what I want them to do, what their aims are for the end of the season, what a lot of the aims are personally and individually. And socially, we think we went like if one of them wanted a meal, we all went out as a team. We all had a bit of socialising, we all had a good laugh, we all went out together.
Alright. So why is that important then?
Because you need a good vibe within the group, and Di Canio, it just totally smashed that vibe. There were nothing there when I came in. Everybody looked like they didn't want to play football anymore. So after a couple of training sessions, after I got to know them all, we all went out for a meal.
Alright, has that improved things on the pitch?
Yeah, I'd say we've started to pass a bit better, more goals. Performances are picking up.
Alright, so how are you going to continue this then, or is it going to be...
Just carry on doing what I'm doing, get them training hard, more social cohesion I think, but they all know what the tasks are individually for the end of the season. Alright,
so you've talked about 4 factors then, that you've obviously addressed since you've taken over the managerial role. Which one did you identify as the most important, or are they all important, what do you think?
I think the cohesion. Because I think personally within the group you need a good vibe with the team, because it's just together all the time, for away days, especially against fans. If you're going to Old Trafford, you need the vibe in the changing rooms.
All right. Does that link in into any other factor that you talked about?
I'd say if there were no social and task cohesion, it'd come with Ringleman effect a little bit, because if you didn't set up a task, Adam Johnson may just say, I ain't got a task, so I don't really need to do all. So I'm just going to leave it to the rest of it. They might have tasks, but I don't.
Yeah, because it looked like when Paolo Di Canio was manager, like they weren't working for each other. All right. So you've made them cohesive. Now you think they're working for each other a bit more?
Yeah, they're all, yeah. In training, you see them all having a laugh, and before the game, we have a bit of banter, but when we get down to the serious stuff, they're all in with it.
All right. Right, good. So anything else you'd like to say about it?
No, that's it.
All right.